with the ability to control elements, bring life to beings, and if need be, absolutely explode with magic, mages are the very definition of cool and resourceful. And with some tweaks and tropes, these characters have shown just how insanely overpowered they are. Welcome to Animeology, and today we will be ranking the most overpowered battle mages in all of anime. Number 10, Julius Novachrono, Black Clover. Starting off the list is none other than the Wizard King of the Clover Kingdom himself, Julius Novachrono. Now, this spot could have been easily given to Yuno, Asta, William, or Yami, with given how broken they are, but one thing to keep in mind is that all aspects of existence fall short in comparison to time, which is exactly the power Julius commands. Julius commands time to a certain limit through the use of his grimoire, which unlike other books is the size of a building and has no covers at all. This is to possibly symbolize that there is no boundary to what Julius can do with his magic, since the fundamental aspect of his magic is time itself. I mean, he's so powerful that the author had to nerf him near permanently just so other characters could have some spotlight. However, the primary reason behind Julius's overwhelming presence is the fact that there probably is no other wizard in Black Clover that is capable of using time magic. Even Yami's dark magic is said to be rare, which implies that other wielders of that magic do exist, but there are no implications that suggest the existence of another wizard capable of using time magic. Number 9, Shin Wolflord, Wise Man's grandson. Shin Wolflord is the main character of Wise Man's Grandson, which is an isekai anime, so you kinda know what I'm about to say. Yep, Shin dies in his original world and finds himself reborn in a new world with vague memories of his previous life. In this new world, Shin finds himself able to use magic, and not only that, he gets trained by two of the strongest mages to ever live. This makes Shin the most overpowered character in this anime. You will barely see any character giving him a hard time. His main trump card is his development and ability to adapt and learn new magical skills faster than anyone else in the entire world. Number 8, Ayaka Kagari, Witchcraft Works. Here is an entrant that resonates with the classic look of a mage. They always look good in that enormous hat, don't they? Anyways, Ayaka Kagari is the female protagonist of Witchcraft Works. She's a popular student in her school, cause yeah, she's pretty, but other than that, there are really no limits to her powers. She mostly specializes in flame magic, able to create fire out of almost anything. If that wasn't enough, she can tap into a new form where her hair turns white, and she can literally summon dragons on her behalf to fight, which is some serious stuff given how powerful the reputation of a dragon is in anime. Number 7, Lina Inverse, Slayers. The main character of Slayers, Lina Inverse, is a 15-year-old girl who is just ridiculously overpowered. Like, the author was absolutely hell-bent on giving her the power to virtually destroy anything. Usually with characters like these, there are some restrictions on them when they use their powers, but not with Lina. She does not know the meaning of holding back. Her power is so destructive that even though she's a good person, she usually comes off as an evil character within the anime. Lina is not bothered by others' opinions of her and uses her magic as recklessly as she likes, and her drive behind such explosiveness is, of course, money, cause why not? Number 6, Kazuma Yagami, Kaze no Stigma. Being born into the Kanani family, who were masters of the fire element, Kazuma was not able to use fire magic at all, and after suffering a humiliating defeat within family grounds, Kazuma was banished by his own family for his incompetency. This didn't stop Kazuma from getting stronger, as he then went to China, trained like a maniac and made a contract with the Wind Spirit, and got overpowered beyond all limits. Like, the dude was absolutely balling with his newfound powers. His control over wind magic is so bonkers that he can easily defeat even the strongest flame users, which really shouldn't be happening since fire has a clear elemental advantage over the wind. What drives Kazuma, though, is his determination and sense of righteousness. Upon coming back from his training, he found his clan had been murdered and had to face accusations of the crime. This leads Kazuma to have a very headstrong perspective on the importance of strength and justice. Number 5. Evangeline aka McDowell, Negima, Magister Negi Magi. If you're the teacher of the main character of the show, you automatically have to pass to become one of the most insane characters in that show. Evangeline aka McDowell is Neji Springfield's master in magic and taught her everything she knows about combat. Evangeline herself is a vampire who studied in a school for vampires and specialized in ice magic. Aside from the fact that she's a monster when it comes to manipulating ice, her primary technique is dark magic, which basically nullifies all of her opponent's offense against her. Like, all of it. She's so feared in the show that nobody even bothers to challenge her. Evangeline is probably a complete definition of what a battle mage should be. Her abilities are so combat-oriented that she almost feels too vanilla at times. Ice and darkness. Both of these powers have top-tier offensive and defensive capabilities, which is why there really is no weakness in Evangeline as a combatant. Number 4. Gildarts Clive, Fairy Tail. The world of Fairy Tail is full of extremely powerful wizards, or mages as we like to call them. The anime is a pioneer in the magic genre, so it's only fitting that one of the most unfairly overpowered mages would be on this list. Gildarts is arguably the strongest, if not then, a top 3 contender in the world of Fairy Tail. The man is a complete package of what an offensive magician should be like. He has immensely high magic power scaling, his strength is beyond ridiculous, and even his hand-to-hand combat skills are overwhelming. But what truly separates him from other mages is the nature of his magic and the sheer amount of it. Gildarts' primary magic is called Crash, which can literally smash anything it comes in contact with. What I mean by anything is that Gildarts can literally break almost all forms of matter with the use of Crash. And yes, Crash is a type of magic that has the ability to nullify other magic forms as well. Because of such a deadly magic type and ferocity, Gildarts is one of those guys that even Natsu doesn't actively want to fight with. Number 3. Madoka Kanani, Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Don't blame me for bringing up Madoka Magica, the list requires me to do so, as much as I'd like to avoid it. Madoka Magica is one of those anime that people just can't grow to love, and those who love it will defend it to death, mostly thanks to the characters, and in the center of them all is our protagonist Madoka Kanani. Being the main character in an anime that is all about magic girls probably means that you yourself are a pretty strong magic girl, and Madoka makes that quite vivid throughout the anime. She's often in the debate of the strongest female magician to ever exist. In a world that is composed of the good magic girls and the evil witches, Madoka usually finds herself on a tumultuous path but always seems to find a way to thrive despite the various advantages witches have over the magic girls. To give you a clear perspective of just how strong Madoka is, she essentially turned into a god, gained control over space and time, and rewrote history to change all the evil stuff that had happened. She basically took the entire plot, looked at it, and said, nope. Number 2, Orsted, Jobless Reincarnation. He may not quite qualify as a mage, since we normally define a person as a mage if they actively embrace magic as an occupation and a way of life, but since most of Orsted's power is magically enabled and is derived from magical elements, he makes the list. The Dragon God is quite possibly the strongest character in Jobless Reincarnation, as the man god recites that if Orsted wanted, the world would end at any time. So yeah, he's quite fearsome. For a character that is already said to have enough power to destroy the whole world, Orsted can go way beyond that. The Orsted we have seen up until now has a huge amount of curses and restrictions on how much he's able to use his power. Simply put, the man has been nerfed heavily. However, even in his seemingly weakened state, he is the second most powerful entity in the world of Jobless, and he's strong enough to easily overwhelm Rudius, who is said to have magic on par with Laplace. Laplace being the strongest god and the one with the most magical power. Number 1. Rimuru Tempest, Tensura. I tried really hard to think of some other character to take this spot, and not let Rimuru crush all competition, but it simply isn't possible. This spot could be given an Angel Gown, but he is so vanilla it hurts. There probably isn't much to say about Rimuru Tempest aside from the fact that he is basically a hack. Rimuru Tempest is the personification of game mods, where seemingly nothing is impossible, and yes, nothing is impossible with this character. Rimuru has unlimited magical power, the ability to gain unlimited magical techniques, control over all elemental magic, and control over a lot of derived magic, enhanced physical attributes, and there is just no end to how powerful this character really is. The whole concept of being reborn as a slime is such a distraction from what the anime really is. People don't tend to understand that Rimuru, from the moment he got reborn, was overpowered and it just kept piling on.